You know me. That's just a problem. Everybody knows me. They should know how I am by now. I don't give a rat's tail about nothing.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I know y'all are seeing all kinds of weirdness going on before he even gets all this up.
I'm going to cover up that right there because one of us will get crazy and get a wild hair and turn it off.
True.
Okay. I think I've got it all about situated.
He's sitting here doing weird stuff and again making me laugh.
Making Wanda laugh ahead of time, you know.
And then my eyes go to watering and all this stuff. They want the old Danny. The old Danny, I don't know what the old Danny is.
The old Danny used to just say what he felt and felt what he said.
The new Danny says more than what the old Danny said.
Not really.
Yes, really. They don't know you.
In secret, yes. But, you know how we sit and talk and I tell you all the things that I go through every day and what everybody's telling me, and after all the meetings and all the kind of stuff I go through.
You just can't say it out loud now.
I just can't talk about it out loud, and you know that.
Oh, I know, and they know too. Y'all, hello everybody, it's Danny and Wanda.
It is Danny and Wanda. It is the old Danny and the new Wanda.
I don't know. Yes, Crazy Days is new. Y'all, I like 600 and something people hitting 20,000 on Crazy Days. Y'all,
well, run over there and subscribe to her Crazy Days so I don't have to listen to this no more, please.
This is the first time
all day long. All I need is just this many people and I'll be the $20,000.
You did not hear that come out of my mouth till just then.
I'm just imagining what it's going to be like.
No, I got a new banner, a new logo. Crazy Days got away from the pretty colorful logo. I thought it was right colorful, but it seems like a lot of people thought I was a little weird because I had rainbow colors.
Miss Wanda, everybody's saying your hair looks so good. You mean tell them why?
I washed it.
She just took a bath. It's Saturday night.
I usually have it pulled in a ponytail, and I decided to let my hair down tonight. Let's let my hair down tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they used to say when they were going to go on to town and party. I ain't partying. I ain't got time.
We don't have time to party.
I'll be in bed just before long.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. P Ranch, they went and subbed. Thank you. 625
well, he said already
more.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't even know. I know I like less than 700 hitting 20,000. And y'all, I've got, look over there somewhere.
What am I looking for?
My last cookbook. I don't know where it's at.
I don't know where it's
there
at.
There it is, right there, under that cup. Just don't break my cup. And don't break my picture. I'm being bossy, y'all.
You see what I go through?
All right. I hid one. Where's it at? Is that it? People have been asking, they want to buy the cookbook all the time. I hid one. Just so when Crazy Days hits 20,000, I can give away one cookbook. So, y'all get me to 20,000 and we'll have a giveaway. I got other things too I want to do, but that's one of them.
Yeah.
Everybody's supposed to take a bath on Saturday night. Yeah.
Yes.
See? See?
Okay. Jeffrey said, let your hair down, Danny.
In other words, they want you to let your hair down.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They want to know if you've had a chance to eat any frog legs yet. And I had no. We have not actually got Miss Wanda to eat any frog legs yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We got 2 ponds and lots of frogs. And Miss Lippy said she was going to come do some frog legs. She's going to cook them. If we do frog legs, her and Buddy's got to come. They're going to be gigging them and they're going to be cooking them.
If you compost the manure, does the gray sign cook out? No. No, it does not.
We had a pile, and it killed everything we put in it for, what, a year or two?
Yeah, we had a pile for a year or two, and it didn't do nothing.
Llama said I'd subscribe more if I could. See, if they'd let all of y'all subscribe 10 and 12 times, I'd be okay.
Frog legs are the chicken of water. And I have to agree with that. I have eaten my share of frog legs in my lifetime, and I literally love them.
Is Mr. Danny going to keep letting his beard grow? No, he's fixing to start trimming, right? I like it like this. I like it this way. That's Mr. Danny, right? This is Duck Dynasty.
I don't think I have anything in common with Phil other than the Lord.
I know, but still, that's the Duck Dynasty look. We talked about this before we got married. I said I don't want to be moving into the Duck Dynasty family.
Ah, well,
what brought it on?
It is so cold right now. It keeps me warm.
Yeah. What brought it on when we were dating or when we first got married, I don't remember. We might have been married. And we walked in the Walmart here in town. And as we walked around, I kept looking around. And finally I said, Danny, what's going on? And he said, what do you mean? I said, every guy in here's got overalls on. And he said, so? I said, where I come from, they don't wear overalls. I mean, one old guy every now and then. Every guy in Walmart had overalls and a long beard.
And a long beard.
And I said, look, is it Duck Dynasty down here or what?
Yeah, I mean, that is no joke. I mean, we was in Walmart and literally almost every guy in Walmart had overalls on and a big old long beard. And I'm like, okay.
He never paid it any attention.
It's just crazy. It's like something was going on that day. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Vinci says, I'm looking like a Viking. Keep going.
Ellie says she likes the beard the way it is.
I mean,
he don't care.
I really don't care about anything. I'm going to be honest with you.
Somebody up there says they like the beard short. Now, Georgia Gal wants to know the difference between a freeze dryer and a dehydrator. A dehydrator just takes the air out. I mean, it just keeps pulling down. How would you say that? With
a dehydrator, all it does is through heat, it takes all the moisture out of the food.
It makes it like leather.
It makes it like leather, and in the process, you lose a lot of the nutrition that's in it. A freeze dryer literally freezes the food and pulls all the moisture out of it as it's freezing it, locking in all the nutrition of the food and not letting it escape and lasting forever.
It freezes it and it dries it and then it freezes it.
Yeah, it dries it.
Or it freezes it and then it dries it. Which way is it?
It dries it first, I believe, and then it freezes it.
No. Mm-mm.
Or does it freeze it first and then dry?
It freezes it and then it dries it, I believe. I think I'm right. I don't know. I don't know my freeze dryer 101 real well. I just know that I turn it on and it works. But I think it freezes it down to way below zero. I mean, like way
below zero.
And then it dries it out. And when I take it out, it's hot. So it has to dry it last. And not hot, but it's, the trays are warm.
Have you freeze-dried chicken bones for bone meal in the garden? No, we have not.
I hadn't done that.
What is the temperature there in Mississippi? Well, Doris, when we got up this morning, it was what we said it was 28?
28 or 29.
I think it was 28 this morning, and the wind was blowing. And of course, me and Wanda, you know us, we went straight to work right when the sun come up. Mm-hmm. And I told her, I said,
a video for Monday.
We have a video for Monday showing us out working before the sun came up.
Well, I mean, as the sun.
Right, as it came up, yes. We didn't stay in. We actually worked right through it. Freezes first, Orphan Lady says, and then it dries.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
So, what was I going to say?
As a man, I have learned that is a trick question because there's not a man on the face of the earth that knows what a woman is thinking.
Okay, so I freeze-dried the rest of our carrots this week. We probably have about 16 bags of carrots freeze-dried. That's a lot of carrots, y'all. And then I freeze-dried eggnog. I made my own homemade eggnog. and poured it in 2 trays. So I have 2 trays that I did with eggnog, and it is absolutely amazing. I did a video, but it hadn't got edited because somebody's keeping me busy.
Yeah.
We working like crazy.
We working like crazy. Today was no exception. We did a lot of work today, even though it was that cold. We got a good bit done.
Yeah.
Where did we get the backdrop? It was a gift from a subscriber, actually.
It is a quilt.
Yeah.
That I don't remember her name.
I didn't never know, so it wasn't no big deal to me.
I do know, and if she's in here, tell people your name and that you made this quilt. And she sent the pillow shams to go with it. We just hung it up as a backdrop for now because right now I don't need it over at the cabin because we're staying here a lot and just going to the cabin occasionally. So I wanted to use it as a backdrop till we're over there more, and I can put it on my bed or either on the rail at the top of the cabin.
Okay, double A. Where am I at here?
What?
Gotta find get more of my arms right. Everything. This thing is dyslexic. It's back from what you would think it would be. Okay, there we go. These shirts came from the freeze drying company Harvest Right.
Yeah, it's a gift. They said we were family. Look, see, I did the same thing.
Yeah, it's just dyslexic.
It makes you dyslexic. Hey, Grizz, and I wasn't even expecting sweatshirts, and that was a really a neat gift to get, was a sweatshirt.
They actually sent them to us as a gift. We thought that was really nice.
So, I mean, I thought that was sweet of them. Let me show, today Steve and his 2 sons were here for a little while. And I had his wife send me some soap. I bought some of their soap. This one is charcoal. Now they're rustic goat soap. I'm going to show you their label. Well, I got a string in front of it. Let me see if I can do it this way. Rustic goat soap. This one is charcoal, and it's really has no scent to it hardly. She took everything and just made goat soap for Danny, and I got several bars of that. And she makes these big, thick. Y'all see, this is thick. This one is gardenia, so this one is mine, and the other one, I think I got 6 or so for Danny and a couple for me. This one is white lily, and she packages them. Where am I at? She packages them real nice. So rustic goat soap. They're here in Wiggins, and they go to the farmer's market at McDaniel's all summer long.
Wanda, did you get your glasses fixed? Yes, at an astronomical price, but we got it done. Ain't that right?
Yeah. They work pretty good. And sometimes it's just, you gotta, I gotta focus too. I don't know what it is, but to start with, it was harder to read from a distance, and maybe the longer I'm getting it too, but they needed adjusting just a little bit so I can see.
Good evening. Danny, will there be any time to discuss points on choosing a trustworthy place to take your pigs for processing? Well, really taking a pig to a place for processing is a trial and error situation, unless you know somebody who's taken their pigs to a place before. Now, our butcher here happens to be a personal friend of mine and Wanda's, and she does a very good job at her slaughterhouse. I have no complaints, so, I don't know what to tell you other than talk around in the community and ask people what their thoughts on different slaughterhouses is, and find out from that. That's about the best, about the best advice I could give you.
Okay, they're asking about Tasha's soap. It's rusticgoatsoap@yahoo.com.
Yeah. Hello, Jen.
So rusticgoatsoap@yahoo.com. That's how you can find Tasha's and Steve's soaps.
Verna says, people Get your lids and jars now.
Amen.
I could not reiterate that any more than what she said it. I'm telling you, because of what I found out this week, get all you can get as fast as you can get it.
Yeah, because I've been telling people to, while it's in supply, to get it. And lots of people are saying, in my hometown, there's lots and lots of canning goods.
Yeah.
Then I had one or two ladies this week say, hey, in our hometown, there's none. So either somebody's bought them all out,
yeah,
or they hadn't gotten any in. So you don't want to be in that town that there aren't any when you need it. Buy them now. Just saying. Buy enough for whatever you need to do for the year.
Yes.
Make that purchase now.
Do it now.
Even if you have to do without coffee or
if you got to rob Peter to pay Paul, do it and do it now. I have never been more serious in my life. Guys, there's stuff coming in the next few months. I wish I could just sit here and talk to y'all, but I know I can't. And
yeah, because we're talking about gardening tonight.
Wanda wants to talk about gardening tonight.
We ain't talking about all this stuff.
To keep us out of trouble, because she knows I will get us in trouble.
And he's got...
Hello, Susan.
He's got porch time coming up. How many years will lids store? Years.
Years and years and years if you keep the moisture away from them.
Yeah, if they are in a moist place, they'll rust. So you do not want to get them wet. They need to be in a dry place.
Yeah. I got the 4 jars lids. Awesome deal. Thank you. Time has begun. You're more than welcome. We have worked with these companies. And guys, look, lots of people come on here and call us an infomercial or e-beggars. We're all this kind of stuff. Guys, look, first of all, let me say this.
We don't care if you buy or not.
I don't care if you buy anything that we put out there. YouTube is not where my money comes from. I have owned 3 companies in the past. I am more than financially secure. I'm not doing this to make money. If you buy, that's fine. We just go with these companies trying to figure out what works and what don't work so that we can help our subscribers out. And if you don't want it, it's no skin off our nose whatsoever. But if you want it, then and it blesses you, then go for it. But understand, I'm not doing this for the money. If it was left up to me, and this is God is my witness and what I'm fixing to tell you, you can ask Ms. Wanda, I would stop today. Literally, I would stop YouTube. I would stop it all today.
And just live our lives.
And just live my life. And you can ask her, I say that all the time. Why don't we just go ahead and stop this mess and get it over with? You know?
But we like the interaction. We like making videos. It's become a part of our lives.
It is. We do it because we love doing it and we love helping people, not because we need the money.
Yeah. And it's turned into, I kind of like to deal with the, I don't know, it's kind of like a vlog, I guess, but yet it's what we're doing. So, like, Monday's video is going to be on the mini greenhouse, what we're doing in the mini greenhouse. It's nothing spectacular, but we hope you get a few tips out of what he's doing, because every time I show him carpentering and he shows some details, there's somebody out there that says, hey, you just made my life a little easier. And it's that one person that we're glad to reach, you know. And when he does porch time, we get messages all the time, thank you. That woke me up. I'm starting to prepare, or I started canning, or I started gardening, or we get emails saying, you know, I just made a profession of faith. You know, these are the special ones. These are the ones that we just thank God for. And so that's why we do this. And somebody said, what happened to Grow Family? They were sick, and I had messaged him a couple of weeks ago, and he messaged back and said that they were going to be starting to do videos. Bev actually made a video last week on Bev's channel. It's called Living with Bev. And but he just didn't feel like making videos yet until he gets totally well. He's just been chilling. They'll be back.
Yeah, now, somebody asked the questions, went through here a couple of times. I just haven't had a chance to get to it. About growing a garden where there's hard clay soil at. if you've got hard clay soil, that's something you should have started this past fall. But if you go ahead now, get you a lot of compost. Oak leaves, just get you a shredder, shred up oak leaves if you don't, because you should have done that this past fall. But if you're doing it now, start shredding up oak leaves, get you compost, black cow manure, whatever you want to get. Start dumping it in the garden, and with it, get you 50-pound bags of perlite. Start dumping perlite in there with it. Now, not vermiculite, but perlite. And start turning that soil in and start breaking it in with it. And in time, if you keep doing this, you will have good soil.
Now, Susie mentioned Paul Bagley's webinar.
Yes.
If you can afford it, I would suggest you go to Paul Bagley's channel.
If you can afford it, yes. It's a little expensive. Well, it's not expensive. I mean, it's what?
Well, I think it was $39.
$39 is what they charge?
To listen to the webinar. Very eye-opening.
Yeah.
If nothing else, just watch Paul Bagley's Thursday night.
If you want to know something, he has to watch what he's saying. Thursday nights is a good time to watch Paul Bagley if you want to watch him. Now, he's good to watch anytime. He's a pastor. I mean, he's honest. He tells it like it is. He has a lot of people saved on his channel. But Thursday night, to me, if I had to choose one, would be the best one to look at.
Yeah. All right. We've had several comments, but anyways, let me find ashes. What are they good for? And what's the difference between perlite and vermiculite? Okay,
what fireplace ashes are good for? You put them in your garden. They will raise the pH of the soil. You have to be careful with it now, not raise the pH too high, and it puts potash back into the soil. The two things that you need. The difference between perlite and vermiculite. Perlite is made to loosen the soil up. Vermiculite is made to make the soil hold more water.
Okay, I will be doing Crazy Days conversations with friends. I had several that I wanted to work with, but life got a little weird for them and me. And so I haven't had a chance to get in touch. I mean, we've talked. We just hadn't had time to sit down and do it. And so I have one coming up if I can get her, between things that's going on in her country and things that's going on in Deep South. We just hadn't got together, but Not a Real Farm is going to come up soon. And then my daughter also, and she hasn't had a chance to come back out here and us have a sit-down talk. And then I'm going to start branching out. I just got to have a little time, and we hadn't had that yet lately.
Grizz, I did the same thing to my soil when I was in the construction business. And I'd build houses, all the sheetrock scraps I would bring here and scatter them all over my fields. And then I would take the disc and disc them all up, and I'd take the turn plow and turn them under in the fall and let them sit there. Jen has said twice to her she wants to come over sometime and have you teach her how to can meat.
Just when you got something you want to do, just bring it out. Let me know. There's Not a Real Farm. She's going to be on Crazy Days sometime soon. We just got to make it happen. She and I did a trial run one day, and I sent it back to her, and she says, no, don't use that. I said I wasn't, but we're going to do the real thing one day.
Wood ash can be used for a lot of different things, though. Like Jim was asking. What I mentioned was just one of the things. You can make lye. You can use all
kinds of stuff. You
can use it to clean the glass on your fireplace. If you have a fireplace got a glass door in it, you can use it to clean that. I mean, it's just lots of things you can use it for.
We'll be making more time for music. Yes, we do like music. I don't know if I will get a piano. Somebody asked earlier, would I be getting a piano?
If we did, it would be an electric one.
Yeah,
something
probably.
Doesn't take up much space.
I used to own an electric piano many years ago, and I just don't like it as well as I do a regular piano, but maybe. There's Deep South, Texas.
Well, the lids we spoke of, do we have that in the description down below, the link?
I don't know if it's in the live stream description, but it's in all the descriptions of our videos besides the live stream. I don't know that I've fixed the live stream. It's two separate things, but it's 4 jars. It's over in the description of all the other videos in the last week or so.
Let's see. the P Ranch said, I got a pressure canner for Mother's Day last year and I'm scared to use it. There is nothing to be afraid of. Just follow the rules. Watch Wanda's videos over on Crazy Days. She shows you how to use it. It's really nothing to it.
I have a whole playlist on Crazy Days last year that I started my canning kitchen, showing people real simple, easy, from scratch. We do all kinds of stuff. So.
Zane, you should be okay. That shouldn't hurt a thing. If you put them under the house in a container, they should be fine as long as they don't freeze. That's the main thing, as long as they don't freeze.
So what can they plant now?
What can
we
you?
get
Well,
that all the time.
It all depends on where you live. We get that all the time. And guys, all I can tell you about is where I live at. Literally here, right now we're not planting anything. I'm gonna be honest with you. Right now we're getting ready to plant. We're getting our greenhouse, our little Remington solar greenhouse. We're getting it ready to start planting some seeds in that. Matter of fact, we have a video coming up next week about that. Mm-hmm. And that's all we're doing right now. We're trying to get ready to put our seeds in seed starting trays.
I'm going to be starting some things for the greenhouse this week, and there'll probably be a video up on Crazy Days, but that's for the greenhouse. Now, if you have greenhouses and you're going to be growing in a greenhouse, that's different. But I ended up losing a few things in mine, but everything had already produced pretty much.
Yeah.
I did lose the tomatoes, was my biggie, that I was hoping to have tomatoes right now, and they just had started making my little cherry tomatoes. But other than that, I'm going to be starting greenhouse stuff, and I hope to start what's the other thing? Microgreens.
Microgreens.
I keep saying that, and I keep putting it off because when you start these things, you have to watch them every day. And we have bacon to do this week, right?
We'll be curing bacon the 1st of next week. We're actually having it in the refrigerator right now, curing.
Yeah, Allison can't get out of her house. Literally, she's snowed in. The doors, snowed in. She's in New York.
Allison, yeah, that's what I said. I was looking at that. You better plant something. The truckers are going to shut the entire continent down. And I hope they do. I ain't lying to you. I hope the freaking truckers shut the whole world down. Because all these stupid mandates coming down the line, trying to make people do certain things. And I used to run a trucking business. I used to drive a truck. I tell you what, I'm 100% for them. I am.
All right.
All right, Ms. Wanda slapping me on the leg, telling me I got to quit.
Yeah. All right, so right now in Deep South, we are not planting anything for at least 2 more weeks. And then we will be seed starting.
Yep. We
will be starting English peas in the field in about 2 weeks, right? Yep. We have potatoes already that we planted a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
And we're going to plant some more. In the next week or 2, right? When it quits freezing, sort of, kind of.
Once things quit freezing. Now, we did go ahead and fertilize our onions a couple of days ago. We did it with liquid fertilizer, some liquid ammonia.
Yeah.
We went ahead and fertilized them real good. Jen, I don't know exactly what day I'm going to be doing the bacon on. It'll be Tuesday or Wednesday of next week.
According to weather.
It depends on the weather.
Have you heard of putting sweet potatoes on a trellis? You could put a trellis up in the vines, right?
Well, the thing about when you put sweet potatoes on a trellis, the vines don't have a chance to root. And when the vines root, what it does is it adds more nutrition into the plant, and it makes you have actually what's called vine potatoes or slip potatoes that grow out on the vines, and those are actually better potatoes. So it's a catch-22. If you don't have much space, put them on a trellis. But if you got the space, don't do it.
Where do we order seeds from? Some come from Hoss Tools.
Yeah, we don't order a lot, but
we save most of ours. But we've ordered some from Shumway, High Mowing.
Yeah, High Mowing.
And
Gurney's.
A little from Gurney's.
A few from Gurney's, not many. we're mainly looking for specialty seeds. Now, this
Yeah.
year, since I've messed my knee up, we're not going to be able to get down low and pick bush beans anymore. So we've been looking for the same varieties or close to the same varieties in pole beans so that we can plant them up on a trellis so that I don't have to get down on my knees or anything like that to actually pick in the garden.
Yeah, most everything that when we order something, it is something specialty that we thought of that we don't already have, and we save seeds. Our general stuff, Danny saves seeds from year to year, and the things that we keep, that we know that that's what we're going to eat.
Has our power bill gone up significantly from Run? Where'd it go?
Freeze drying, probably.
No, our power bill hasn't went up at all. Can you use diluted household ammonia in your garden? Okay, that is a good question. There are some YouTube videos out there that show people doing that. I personally have not done it.
What's the best beginner sweet corn?
The best beginner's sweet corn would be something like G90 or
Stowell Evergreen.
Stowell Evergreen is a good heirloom one that does really well. Peaches and cream is another good one.
That's something everybody likes is peaches and cream.
Okay. Michelle says, how do you cure pork? Sugar or salt? Both.
We're using both.
We're using both of it. We have a video coming up about it this coming week.
Somebody asked that, and we also have a whole playlist on bacon and curing bacon, smoking bacon, whatever. And but we will be doing a new video when we do this. We started with him curing and him showing what he's doing to cure it.
One bright light, if you grow 2 or more kinds of pole beans in the same area, no, you cannot save the seed from them. They have to be at least 100 yards apart. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Does Napa cabbage tolerate cold? I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never grown Napa cabbage. We've grown mainly, what's the cabbage we grow?
Jersey, Dutch, flat Dutch,
yeah,
and Jersey Wakefield.
So, and they tolerate pretty good. Danny's, the ones we have in the greenhouse looked a little droopy, but they've popped back out. So the cabbage is still going.
Someone said my grandma and my aunt always peed in their gardens. Well, we do too, to be honest.
Who does? Not me.
Not Wanda, but I do, because urine is actually very sterile. There's nothing wrong with human urine, as long as you're not sick or something.
Taking a lot of meds.
If you're taking a lot of meds, then the answer is no. But if you're a very healthy person, there's nothing wrong with human urine. It's actually very high in nitrogen.
Yeah. Are we going to cure any hams? No.
No, we're not. We can't cure hams in the South unless you have a pump, and we don't have a pump.
Now, the lady that does our pigs, she usually does our ham, but we are not smoking any ham this time. We just had ham steaks made, so we'll be just cooking those on the grill or something.
Best plants for nutrition is broccoli. That would be broccoli and cabbage. Any of your brassicas for the winter time growing is accurate. Now, if you want summertime vegetables that's good, that's most nutritious, that would be a sweet potato.
All right. At Home with Glenda said, sometime please list the name of the seeds you plant. Well, I guess we could sit down with all our seeds like everybody else does and do a, hey, I plant this, and hey, I plant that, and hey, I plant this. Y'all, to me, that's so boring, but I guess we could do that.
We could probably do, you know.
I just don't, to me, that's a weird video, just sit and go, I plant this, this, and this, but I guess we could do that. I don't know. That's a Danny video.
It probably is, yeah. Will plum trees handle 30 degrees? It depends on the variety. If you've got one with high chill hours, then yes.
Okay. Can I grow mullet in Ohio for feed and flour? Millet. Millet, not mullet. Millet,
mullet's a fish.
It's also a hairdo.
Yeah. Can I grow millet in Ohio for feed and flour? I don't know if millet grows in Ohio or not, to be honest with you. It grows in the South. We grow brown millet. We grow sorghum millet. I mean, we grow lots of kind of millet in the South. But as far as where you're at, it depends on the variety.
All right, so somebody's asking about the variety and where do we get the bush okra seeds. I got my bush okra from Grow Family Network. King sent me those seeds, 2 years or better ago? And we've started saving our seeds from it. And I know King, I don't think he's got any for sale, but he might this next year if he
might. I don't know if we have enough to sell any or not.
No, we didn't save a lot.
We didn't save a lot. We got maybe I don't know, they may be a quarter of a pound in there, but that'd be about it.
Yeah, it's not enough really to start trying to sell.
Yeah.
But that's where we got ours. I don't know of anybody else that really has it. Not a company. And somebody said if you chop the top off, everything would grow that way. But we didn't chop the top, and ours just kept growing out all over the place.
Yeah.
So.
Someone asked a question back. Let me jump back here and see if I can find it.
You made everything blue.
Oh, I can change that. Hold
on. Something.
I forgot. Well, the question got past me. I can do it right here.
Do you sell breeding pairs or trios from your Dexters? No.
No, we don't sell trios.
We will have a
we have a little female
next month.
Next month for sale, yeah.
Lucy will be for sale next month. If anybody would like a female Dexter. She's full-blooded Dexter. Mom and Dad both are Dexters. They are not registered, though.
The question was asked, any idea on how to keep deer out of the garden? We used bone sauce this year from Permapasture Farm YouTube channel. Mr. Billy up there makes it, and it done a fantastic job for keeping the deer out of our garden. So if you might want to check him out on his YouTube channel.
All right, so Michael Clay asked, would you do a video where you talk about how to do the efficient wiring so that it saves on the power bill? Do we have one?
I don't think we have a video about it.
You know you did Joe's breaker box. Didn't we do a video on that? I know we showed, and I would think it would be if you typed in Deepsouth Homestead breaker box or
I don't know.
Wiring a breaker box or something like that. It's been 5 years probably. But he wired a friend's breaker box, and I remember the video because I remember the breaker box and everything lined up perfectly in it. I just don't know the title.
Donald, it's not the time of the year to find sugarcane. Sugarcane goes up for sale in the fall. You'll probably have to wait till the fall to find any. And lots of times in the fall we sell it, but we don't have any right now.
How long does it take slips for sweet potatoes to grow?
About 2 months.
Do you ever propagate cuttings from your citrus?
Occasionally. Are your lemons Meyer lemons? Yes, our lemons in our greenhouse are Meyer lemons.
Okay, when someone very close to you does you wrong, how do you keep bitterness from setting in?
I don't care what people do because I don't like people.
All right, it does hurt. We have been hurt.
We've been hurt several times by people, but the
especially
bottom line
YouTube
is
people.
Yeah, especially YouTube people. But the bottom line is, we place all of our trust and faith in the Lord. We don't place it in man. It is what it is.
You have to forgive.
You have to forgive and move on.
And move on and just let it ride. Yeah. If they come back and ask, you forgive whether they ask for it or not, or whether they deserve it or not. It doesn't matter. And then you let it go. And if they come back and make amends, great. If they don't, you are at peace with your maker and with what you had going on.
Yeah.
It's the only way to handle it is forgiveness.
Yeah. Somebody asked, can you plant sugarcane in Kentucky? Probably not. Kentucky's more known for sorghum than it is for sugarcane. So I would suggest that you plant sorghum.
Do tomato varieties also have to be 100 feet apart to save seeds?
Yes.
They're very susceptible.
Tomatoes are very susceptible to cross-pollinating. Corn.
Even at 100.
Yeah. Corn actually has to be up to a mile apart in order to make sure you have true corn.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand that. How's the farm-all barn coming?
Slow. We worked on it today a little bit. We got some things done. It's just so cold right now that for me to be up on top of that metal roof working in that metal, it's just so cold. And the wind's blowing so hard. I just don't want to be up there and it's cold. So we just wait till it warms up and we do a little bit here and a little bit there. But we'll eventually get it.
Yeah, we won't have a video up for a while on it because he's only put a few boards up. With his leg, there's days he can't even go up and do anything, and then there's days he can. And we went and I did some sealing. What were you doing that day? Twice I've done sealing over there.
One day I was just cutting for you.
Yeah, you were cutting. That's what it was.
I was just cutting.
I knew you weren't up on the roof.
I wasn't on the roof. I was just cutting.
He was just cutting, and I was sealing. So we've got enough to do. One side's almost done. He's got to get there and do the last 3 or 4 boards. The other side, we've got all the boards, so we'll have it. And then you want to start on the end toward the cabin or the other end? Which end you starting first?
On what?
The end toward the cabin or the end toward the
on what?
Cows? The barn. What are we talking about?
Well, I mean, I don't know what part of the barn you're talking about.
The end toward the top part.
The top. I will start on the
cabin side or the
I'll probably
cow
start
side?
Well, I can't start on the cow side until I put the roof on the back of it.
Okay. But we did get a window.
We got a window at a really good deal.
It's a nice window.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, y'all, the grape salad in Wanda's cookbook is exceptional. Yes, grape salad is great.
Yeah.
I just don't get to make it very often because we never go to town and buy grapes.
If you bag a tomato plant, you can save the seed wherever it is. Well, that's true if you take time and put a bag over every one of them. We don't have that kind of time.
No.
We just follow the recommendations, which is 100 yards.
Wonder how many total fish are in the pond. There is no telling.
There is no telling how many fish is in that pond, yeah.
When we fed them, when we go out to feed the ones in the front, there's a lot of catfish. A lot.
A lot.
There's some brim comes up, but the catfish rule. So we don't know how many brim are actually in there because of the catfish. But it seems like when my grandchildren come, all they catch is brim out of there. When Danny and I go, all we catch is catfish.
Catfish, yeah.
It's kind of weird. And the back has a lot of brim in it. There's probably thousands in there.
Do we have a backhoe for the Kubota? No, I actually called about one, and they wanted like $11,000 for a backhoe, and I told them, I said, no, I can rent a piece of equipment a lot cheaper than that. Is it time to start sweet potato slips? In 2 weeks, at Zone 8, we will start our sweet potato slips.
Do we grow grapes here on our homestead?
Yes, we have some in the high tunnel. Seedless grapes.
We also have muscadines and scuppernongs. Those are southern grapes. They're really not grapes, but they are grapes. I don't know how to say that, but anyway.
Yeah.
Do we have a fish finder?
I do up in the
Danny.
attic. I'm the only fish finder around. Other than the one, I have one in the attic, but I don't use it. Are brim good to eat? James is one of the best eating fishes out there.
Yes, they are good. They just have a lot of little bones in them. You have to be very careful.
What date do we start our sweet potatoes in the ground, box, or slips? It depends on the weather conditions. We usually do mid-March if we can. But it depends on the weather. We just have to watch the weather because if it's going to frost or freeze, we can't do it.
Yeah.
Danny, can EMP affect your solar panels if they are stored in their own containers? EMP will affect anything that has a diode, a sensor, an ECM, a chip, or anything like that in it. It depends. It depends on what your solar panels are. Are they monocrystalline or what are they?
Danny did talk to a couple of the guys from the company again this week. And we will have a video, I guess. He hasn't shot one yet, but he's going to be doing 1 or 2 videos and maybe even a podcast with some of them. So they can answer y'all's questions about the company EMP Shield.
Yeah. We'll be doing a live video with them, and the questions asked there, why do we need an EMP video, and wonder why we need one for the breaker box when it's already made out of metal? Because there's live wires running into that metal box. The only way a metal box is any good is if it's sealed completely all the way around, and there's absolutely no way that anything can get into that box, and it's got to be sealed with metal all the way around totally.
Danny, do you have a cattle panel greenhouse? You just said high tunnel. We have high tunnels from Growers Solution. We have 3 of them, 2 different sizes. 2 of them are the same size. One of them's a different size. And we have a greenhouse on the back of our barn that is made out of
polycarbonate panels.
And then we have the Remington greenhouse, which is a small greenhouse that is a 10 by 10.
Now we'll be using that for a seed starting one.
So no, we do not have a...
No.
Whatever.
We don't do cattle panel stuff. To us, it's just kind of cheesy for us here because I'm tall, and for me, I don't want to be ducking my head when I walk in something, and you can't really roll the sides up on them.
And the heat is right here.
And the heat is just right there on you. You can't, in the south, up north they may be fine, but down south here, it's just not worth it.
Have we decided to replace our Blue 80 with something? No,
not yet.
Using, most of the Blue 80s have done really well. That one big one, it still works, right? It just
the big one still works. We just had some error codes on it.
With the charger and some error codes.
Do I use a wooden ladder when I'm wiring? No, I never use a wooden ladder. I don't trust them. My EMP shield for my truck was delivered today. I just have to figure out how to install it. Vintage Living Homestead, it's very easy. Do the same. Matter of fact, I have a video I wanted to put up. Wanda won't let me put it up yet.
I wanted to wait till after you've done the interviews.
She says, wait till you do the interview with the company. I'm like, but people need to see this video.
So I may put the truck video up shortly. If y'all want to see it, I'll put it up one day this week. It'll go up. I hadn't edited it yet, I don't think.
But it's a very simple.
It's real easy.
It's real easy. I mean, a child could do it, you know?
Yeah. Do you feel different about the higher tunnels after the freeze? No. No. Most everything that froze in my high tunnel, the potatoes, everybody was saying, oh, the poor potatoes. The potatoes were ready to be harvested. I've been telling everybody on Crazy Days, I'm going to harvest in the next 2 weeks when the plants die. Well, the plants died because they froze, but it wasn't because they were poor potatoes. It was because it was ready for them to be harvested. So I didn't feel bad about that. I lost the peas because I'd already harvested a whole bunch of peas off of them. I was just letting them grow to see if they would produce a second time. So nothing wrong with that. I was just extending my season. We're just fixing to start all over again because it is time to plant. Several people saying they need to see the video. So I guess I'll put a video up sometime this week. Yeah.
I mean, we got a lot of flack from that video, but you know what? Guys, if you knew what I knew, what I tell people is, just because I'm wearing overalls and I'm on a farm and I raise my own food, don't let that fool you. Because most people on YouTube have no clue who I really am. And there's things I know that go so far beyond what the normal person knows that...
Further than gardening.
It goes a lot further than gardening. Let me put it that way. A lot further. The only reason I'm living off like I'm living is because I got out of a system that I was in, and I choose this life now. I asked to have all my stuff done away with, and now I'm just a plain person out doing what I do.
All right, so let's see. How about a Generation Z child bet they couldn't find their way
out of a wet paper bag? Some of them are that way. Now, not all of them.
Some of them are really good, and they are really trying. We get young people all the time that are trying really, really hard, and they have nobody to talk to.
Right.
They have nobody to ask questions, and their parents, grandparents, whatever, didn't live this lifestyle and could care less. And so we get 20-somethings and 30-somethings all the time telling us, glad you're putting the videos up because they explain things that I didn't know. What happened to our bananas? They're still hanging on.
They're still hanging on the tree. They're doing good. You know?
The leaves are looking pretty rough, but the bananas are hanging on. So we're not touching them to see what happens. I don't know if they'll continue to grow, but why do you need to stock up on jars and lids? Well, if you don't know
If you don't know that answer, Danielle, you're already in trouble.
Matthew says, I wish I could meet you two in public. I'm a Generation X born in the 70s, I think he said. Yeah. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony. We really appreciate it.
He's cold in Banner.
It's cold in Banner. If you're on the East Coast, anywhere up there, yes, it is cold.
Yeah.
Actually, Florida, I think tonight, Florida, and tomorrow, Florida's going to have breaking record temperatures all the way to South Florida, according to what I've seen.
All right. Let's see. Anyone know anything about the prepping preacher? I heard he was in the hospital last week, but now I have not heard an update. There may be somebody on here that keeps up with them. I don't know. Does a lightning arrestor work the same as the EMP shield?
The EMP shield on a house is the same as a lightning arrestor. As a matter of fact, it's better than a lightning arrestor. I'll be talking about this in the video when I put it on the house. I'm working with the company about doing a particular install video for the house. If I can find the right equipment to do it a specific way that I want to do it in order to protect everything that is hooked to my power source from the pole.
No, he's not witness protection.
No, if I was witness protection, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this.
Okay.
Has everybody watched Ice Age Farmer's video with David the Good? Both of them are personal friends of mine. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. They are both outstanding young men that know their stuff.
Yes. Prepping Preacher's son said he was
Thank you, Elizabeth.
A little better today. Cul-de-sac said a little better today. Let's see. They said he's still on oxygen, but he is better. Okay.
Florida has a watching for falling iguana warning. Iguanas get up to 5 foot long. I mean, if you're driving down the road and a 5-foot iguana falls in the road in front of you, it's like hitting a deer. You know?
I guess so.
Their wind chills are down in the teens, Florida Homesteader said.
Yeah, David the Good is funny, but don't let him fool you. He is smart.
Yes, David. David's also a friend of ours.
He knows his stuff. Let me tell you, and he's been doing YouTube a long time.
He has.
I think close to 10 years. I think he's been on. I think he had his 10-year anniversary, I believe, on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we've only been on 6.
When's the best time to start sweet potato slips in zone 6A, Boston? After danger of all frost is gone. That's all I can tell you about that particular thing.
Because we don't live in Boston. We don't know what that is.
Yeah. Downgraded says, I know David the Good. Just ask him about Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead. He knows us both.
Can you eat iguanas? I wouldn't want to.
I have no idea because I've never wanted to and I've never had the urge to, so I don't know.
We don't grow iguanas here. I mean,
there are no iguanas where we live at.
There's these little bitty tiny lizards everywhere, though.
I could not watch David's scary pig video.
EMP Shield has a vehicle install video on their website. Yes.
They do. Yeah, they do. It's so simple, guys. I'm going to tell you, it took me, 5 minutes?
Probably.
But then again, I'm not your average bear boo-boo. So.
No. But, I mean, it's not that difficult. I've seen a video yesterday. I was looking through some of the videos, and there was a woman doing it. I mean.
Yeah, anybody can do it.
And it's a couple of 3 wires.
Just undo the negative post on the battery first before you start, and hey, you're good to go.
Thank you, ABC. I don't know, ABC.
Sean said something about drywall.
AB I can't read that. Something dry.
My eyes are so fuzzy. Anyway, thank you so much.
I was trying
Thank
to...
you.
Cochran. A.B. Cochran
A.B.
drywall.
Okay, A.B. Cochran.
I knew it. I had to...
Yeah.
When it's all jammed together, it makes you kind of think.
What do I think about the black paint for 5G? 5G goes way deeper than anything that I can talk about on here. The black paint has nothing to do for 5G. The only thing that's going to stop 5G is paint with lead in it. And that's why they've taken it out of all homes today. As a matter of fact, if everybody in the whole world fired up their 5G phones, you would only be using about 8, maybe 9% of 5G.
Idaho Hoosier, thank you. They need prayer. Been in bed since the 8th with nerve pain in the back. Praying, screaming, crying for relief. Went to church tonight. Blessings, Julie. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie. We will definitely be praying for you.
Polycarbonate versus plastic
for backyard greenhouse. Go with plastic. We've done the polycarbonate. It is not worth it. It turns yellow. I don't care what they say. It turns yellow.
And any pollen, we have huge pollen problems. Yeah. The pollen just collects on it, and like with anything, if you don't pressure wash the pollen off, you ain't getting it off. Yep. But the polycarbonate does work. It just, you have to really vent it really well.
Yeah, it's okay if you vent it, but you've got to keep it clean, because I'm going to tell you, if you don't, ours right now is only, what, 5 years old? Maybe 4 to 5 years old, and it's done turned yellow, and it come from the company itself. They shipped it straight from the company here. Tough Tex is the name of it.
And we did videos, and we showed the whole build on the Tough Tex greenhouse. And right now, the sun getting into our pineapples is probably, I'd say, at 40 or 50%.
Maybe 40 to 50% of the sunlight.
It's like having a shade cloth on.
It is, yeah. What's better for power, solar power or Generac propane? Solar is better because propane will be limited and get very expensive in the very near future.
Somebody was saying earlier that because of the freezes that are fixing to hit Florida, that all your citrus is fixing to go up. So...
Yeah, our pineapple room is polycarbonate. That's why we know that it turns yellow.
Yeah. But it makes some nice pineapples.
Yeah. Make sure you select UV protected greenhouse plastic. Amy, that is correct. Make sure, because if you don't, in 1 year, regular plastic will just crumble up and fall off of it.
Yeah. Now, if you want to replace your plastic every year, that's fine. You can use the just regular plastic. But greenhouse plastic does last. Danny's greenhouse is 2 years old.
Yeah.
And we have no problems with it yet. And the life expectancy is what, 3?
No, 4 to 5 years.
4 to 5? Okay.
And with the shade cloth on it, it'll probably go longer than that.
And that was another question. Somebody asked, did we take the shade cloth off at all? We have not. Not for hurricanes and not for winter. Yeah. One thing about the Deep South is...
hurricanes.
Well, I was going to say the winter. A lot of people take the shade cloth off.
They take it off for the winter time.
But we're as hot in the winter as we are in the summer most days, so we leave ours on. It's not cool, but just a few days. I mean, this is been almost 2 weeks of cool.
Yeah.
And we get we have a cool day or a cool night, and then it's back to 80s.
What size generator do I need to power a 14 by 70 trailer with? I would not, well, somebody just took it back. Oh well, I wouldn't go with less than a 10K. 10 kW. I would not go less than 10 kW.
Yeah.
Coastal Redwood said, I just got me another Dexter cow today, and she is due any day. All right. That's what I like to get cows that have calves right away.
Now, our Minnie is going to have a calf within a month, maybe a month and a half. We figured sometime end of February, 1st of March, Minnie will be having a baby. Do we have catfish in our pond? Yes.
Doug says, what's going on with the price of fertilizer? China is refusing, and other countries are refusing to sell us the ingredients to make our fertilizer out of. That's most of it.
Well, Renee said she saw an orange for $2.50 a piece. Whew. That's expensive.
Bama Gardner said, did that radiator in our high tunnel run on gas or electric? It was electric.
Yes. Y'all, I'm glad I saved my little limes.
Oh, yeah.
My key limes.
AT&T shuts down 3G next month. That is actually true. And 4 LTE will be another year later. And then everything from that point forward will be 5G. And now they already have some 6G out and they're testing 7G. And guys, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, okay? I made the comment a while ago that if everybody in the world turned on their phones, 5G would only take up about 8 or 10% of the space. Everybody's wondering what the rest of the space is going to be used for. I'm going to just go ahead and say it. It's probably blockchain. Blockchain is more than likely what it's going to be used for because it takes a lot of data to run and mine blockchain. The cryptocurrency is what it's probably going to be used for.
Somebody says they're ready for 10G. What are Dexter and Angus cows going for these days?
It depends on if you get regular or registered. Now we don't sell registered. We don't think that there's a need in it. Some people do. Registered ones go for about $1,500 a piece.
On up.
On up, and we sell ours for around $800. You know, $600 to $800 depending on the animal. The boys are a little bit cheaper than the girls.
Old cell phones will not work if they're 3G.
No, they will not work if they're 3G.
They are recommending that everybody that have an old cell phone that works on 3G upgrade to the new 5G.
Yeah.
Ask Miss Lippy because Nanny Nash had to go get her a new cell phone. She's learning.
Yeah.
She's learning a new cell phone. Oh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Let's see. Do you recommend not having a smartphone? We have smartphones.
We have smartphones. Let me tell you something right now. There's a bill coming in the very near future that's going to make it illegal for you not to own a phone. It's probably going to be in about a year or two. It's going to be mandatory that everybody have a cell phone, just like it's mandatory that you have car insurance on your car. It will be a law. If you don't have a cell phone, you will be fined in the near future.
Because you got to have your information.
Your information's got to be out there.
See where that's heading? Okay, enough said.
Enough said. Do we compost our own poop? Nope. Our own poop goes into a septic tank. And anywhere else we choose to use the bathroom.
No. That's wrong. It goes into a
septic tank. That's what I said. You went to laughing.
No, there was a second part of it that made me laugh.
Okay. Danny, what is my favorite meat cow to eat? The only meat cow that I want to eat is a Dexter. A Dexter has the best marbling in meat that any cow on the face of the earth has.
But we do eat, what kind is it we get? From Julie.
Angus.
Angus.
Well, if we can't eat our Dexter, then we get some Angus from our regular butcher.
Mr. Danny does
Miss Wanda know everything about you? No.
Not really.
No.
I probably know more than he thinks I know. But
she knows a lot about me, but she doesn't know everything about me.
He doesn't keep too many secrets.
I don't keep a lot of secrets, but there's some that I don't talk about.
Okay. So even the 90-year-olds that can barely see have to have a phone. Probably.
There will come a day, yes, it will have to have.
Did you see Tucker's interview yesterday with the trucker crossing the border with the HQ code?
I know who he is, but I don't watch him.
Let's see. They're saying how is their favorite couple tonight? We're doing pretty good.
We're doing good. How much milk do Dexters produce? Not as much as a Jersey, but they have A2 type milk. If you have them tested, make sure they have A2 type milk. Now we have a Jersey Dexter cross that gives a lot of milk, and both of them are A2 type milk.
Oh, cul-de-sac. Okay, Mr. Danny, if an LCE happens and the septic gets full, then what?
We use an outhouse.
We're not going to clean it out?
No, we have no way to clean it out.
So the pooper trucks ain't coming.
The pooper trucks ain't running if an LCE happens.
Let me just say this for everybody, because this is something Danny and I've been talking about and we're fixing to have done, is we having the poopers come clean out the septics now before an LCE happens, just in case, so we can go longer.
Well, let me answer this cul-de-sac. Let me answer this in a way that I'm hoping that will be the best way to answer this. If an LCE, you're probably nervous about this, and you will be nervous when I talk about it. If an LCE happens and there is no electricity, that doesn't mean the toilet won't flush.
Yeah.
So what I'll probably do is get underneath the house and I'll probably cut the line loose because I have extra plumbing here. I keep my big pipes and everything. And I will go in my backyard and I will dig a huge hole in the ground and I will run the pipe from the toilet all the way to that hole, and we will take 5-gallon buckets of rainwater that we have harvested and we will pour it in the toilet and we will flush it and let it run into that hole, and that's probably what we'll do.
In order to bypass it, just in case. But
Mr.
we
Danny,
have it cleaned out.
Mr. Danny, what does A2 type milk mean? Any milk.
Richard Daughters.
Okay. I got to answer this first, but we'll get back to that. A2 type milk means that that is the healthiest milk that you can eat. It's actually like it's like homogenized, already coming out of the cow. If you drink milk from a cow that is not an A2 type milk, if you look at the milk underneath a microscope, it looks like it's got glass beads in it. It's destroying the arteries in your body. It's actually cutting the arteries on the inside of your body as it goes through them. That's why we don't encourage anybody to buy milk from a store. Make sure where your milk is coming from and make sure it's an A2 type milk. A2 type milk is great for the heart. It's great for people with heart disease. It's great for people who have organ problems in their bodies and stuff like that. It's very healthy and it heals the body. What is an LCE? Well, Sarah, you don't watch us very often. It's a phrase that I've used for years and years. It stands for a life-changing event. Now, we just don't want to say SHTF.
It's not that Danny invented it.
I didn't invent it. But
a lot of people say life-changing event, but not when they're talking about an SHTF.
Right.
When we started YouTube, everybody was saying SHTF all the time. And Danny goes, I just really don't like saying that.
I just don't like saying it.
And so we decided when he started, he said it's a life-changing event. Yeah. Anything that happens in your life is an LCE. Whether you lose your job, you get very sick, somebody dies.
Yeah.
Anything is a life-changing event. So it doesn't mean that the world's got to end or we've got to have a volcano or a hurricane or a coronal mass ejection. It's anything that happens in your life is life-changing. So LCE, that's what Danny says instead of SHTF.
A2 versus goat milk. A2 and goat milk are almost identical. Both of them are actually naturally homogenized. I don't think one of them is probably any better than the other.
Okay, so answer your daughter's question. She's your daughter.
I mean, I didn't get you.
Let me tell you what she said.
Okay, tell me what she said, because I was reading another question and you interrupted me.
She said that with your septic tank, why wouldn't you siphon it out like you would gas? Out of a tank. She's your daughter.
Jennifer. You should know better than that. It's one thing to get a mouthful of gasoline when you're siphoning it out. It's another thing to get a mouthful of crap. Not only is it unsanitary, it's unhealthy, it won't work.
Because a lot of it's not liquid.
A lot of it's not liquid. A lot of it is solids. In a septic tank, you have a section of it that's liquids and you have a section of it that's solids. Now, you might be able to take a scooper and scoop some of it out of there until you got down to the liquid. No, a shovel won't work. You have to have a scooper.
A pooper scooper, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you have to have some kind of pooper scooper.
Oh, Lord. She said, I was joking.
Okay.
I knew she was, but
I
I was
know.
being.
I know. I just had to make sure. Because you was raised better than that.
She's probably wondering some
Yeah.
days.
Talk about a potty mouth. Yeah, you would have a potty mouth.
Oh. This one person said they had their septic pump in the truck. Says our work is guaranteed, or you get your
SH back. Yeah.
Oh, I would rather they just keep it.
Danny, have I put my EMP shield on the house yet? No, I'm waiting for 2 particular breakers because I'm trying to do a particular video for the company.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm getting sleepy.
Oh man.
They want us to check out Rumble. I did check out Rumble.
Let me clarify
I did
Rumble.
some Rumble.
Let me just clarify
yesterday.
Rumble right now. Rumble is not conservative. Okay, let's just get that out of the way first. Rumble is owned by Paramount Pictures and
I done forgot
2 or 3 other very liberalistic companies. The only reason there's conservatives on Rumble is because Parler went down and the head of Parler went over to Rumble and carried all of his people over there with him. Rumble is fixing to be censored in the near future, just like YouTube and just like every other platform out there. It's just that they haven't gotten to that point yet. They're gathering up all the conservatives into a corral, just like bringing cows into a corral, and they're going to be finding out who knows what, who does what, and it's putting everybody in one spot. I'm not going over there because they're no better than YouTube is or any other platform.
And we're not promoting YouTube.
And I'm not promoting YouTube.
That's where we've
YouTube
been.
is corrupt. Rumble is corrupt. Twitter's corrupt. They're all corrupt. It's just a matter of time before they're all going to be censored to the point that we can't say anything.
And the problem is we already are on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't have time to deal with other places. And if they shut us down on YouTube, we're shut down. That's the way we feel. Danny and I have talked about this.
Yes.
We did the podcast because we're hoping, because that's a total different type of thing. And we do the podcast because we like just to be talking about good stuff, good times, enjoying things. We don't want to put a whole lot of world stuff on the podcast. He might throw a porch time up occasionally. I've thrown a few older porch times. But most of it's we're kind of gearing toward gardening and what's going on here now. And we
Sherry,
might be over there, but that's it.
Sherry Broder, I have a video on Patreon about the platform that you're talking about with Trump. It's a social media platform. I'm not going to talk about it on here, but it is over on Patreon where I talk about it.
Just our thoughts.
It's just our thoughts on what I found out about it.
I mean, whether you can take it any way you want.
I agree with you, Save Ferris. They did take him down illegally, but it doesn't change the fact of what happened.
Yeah. Shirley says, my daughter's at the ER, so prayers please. And she has bronchitis, so remember them. The podcast, we hope to continue those. We didn't put up one yesterday.
Yeah,
we got busy and kind of forgot.
Yeah. Well, we didn't forget. We just didn't have time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I thought about it late last night.
Most of the poop is in D.C. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that.
Okay, so I guess it's 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock.
Do I know an organic way to kill brown widow spiders and their eggs in a barn that has been vacant a while? We bought new property.
And it had an old barn. I remember seeing that.
They make a spider spray out there. I mean, that would be what I would do. But it's not an organic way. But if you're trying to kill something that's going to kill you, I think you can throw organic out the window and just go ahead and do what you need to do and get it over with, because it won't last long.
Yes, and Joanne is right, praying that people would wake up to the spiritual battle that's going on. This is not a human...
This is not... Wanda's right. This is not a flesh and blood battle that we're in right now. We are in a spiritual battle right now against powers and principalities and rulers of darkness and stuff like that. If it was physical, yeah, we could deal with it if it was flesh and blood. But it's not. We're dealing with something As a matter of fact, God gave me 2 chapters, and I'm trying to figure out whether I want to do a video on this or not. It was for me specifically that God gave them to me, but I might do a video on them. I'm not 100% sure yet. Do I know how to get rid of stink bugs? Soapy water is what we use. You just got to put them in some soapy water and they die instantly.
Prayers for those with COVID.
Yes. Yes, lots of people have COVID. Lots of people are dying, and I could tell you why they're dying. It's not from COVID, a lot of them, but we're not going to go there right now.
Okay, how do you access our podcast? In our descriptions, in each video, underneath it will say something about podcast. You can go there. There is a specific link. You do not have to have a podcast download or anything. You can go to our Libsyn link and go to it and listen free of charge. Just go there. Or you can go to our website, deepsouthhomestead.com, and scroll down and see where the podcast is, and it'll have a link, and you click on it and go to it. You have no downloads. Or you can go to places like iTunes, Spotify. I don't remember. There's like a jillion of them. You do have to download them on those sites. So if you don't want to download, go to our website, or in the link, go to the Libsyn site. Is the easiest way to do the podcast. All right, so what's your opinion of Alex Jones and InfoWars? We really don't want to go there.
No, I don't. I don't watch Alex Jones. I mean, I know who he is, but I don't watch him.
We do want to remember Mr. Keith Winslet. He is in the hospital, and Lippy had talked to his wife, Wanda, yesterday, and he did, they had woke him up. He did ask for food, and he did say, is Lippy still talking? So
yeah,
he was better yesterday.
SLM says, please pray for my husband. He's had a mini stroke, and we are dealing with some huge incontinence.
All right, so
that's what I was fixing to say. I'm watching.
Lots of people, Vintage Living, prayers for my back, please. Let's see.
Prayers for my back. Pulled it out of place twice this week. That's kind of like my knee. You know, my knee just keeps getting messed up, and it's just.
Okay, we did get Tracy sent Danny a new brace.
Yes, we did get the brace in. Yeah.
And the tens.
And the tens unit. Yeah.
And I talked to her today about it. So we did get that in.
What scripture do I recommend you read tonight? I'm going to give you the same one God gave me. Matthew 24 and 25. Chapter 24 and 25. And pay attention to every word that is spoken and every pronunciation after every sentence. And take your time. Read one sentence and dissect each one of those words and see what's going on and what the time frame is for each one of the things that's going on. And I think that you will understand why God gave that to me.
Do we plant potatoes by phases of the moon?
Sometimes I do, but if the weather's not conducive and I have to get them in the ground, one day head, one day back I have found has not made a difference. Do I think that Russia will invade the Ukraine? Yes, Russia will invade the Ukraine. There is no doubt about that. It's an embarrassment. Ukraine is an embarrassment to the Soviet Union. They lost it several years ago. And I'm sorry, Ms. Wanda's slapping me on the leg, telling me to stop. But
that's enough.
Yes, they will invade the Ukraine.
And no, we do not watch Joe Rogan very often.
No, I know who he is. I used to watch Joe Rogan years ago when he was a cage fighter. But I don't watch his podcast or anything. I don't have time.
It's not that we don't like these people. And we've got millions of... this is something I wanted to do and I forgot. I really forgot. We have a lot of you guys have a YouTube channel. And we don't know that. But if you're in the chat and you have a channel, type in, I have a channel. And if your name you're going by tonight is not your channel name, put your channel name out beside it. Don't put any links because it won't pick up a link except for our moderators. But just put, I have a channel, and put the name of your channel there so that other people know you have a channel, because you could chat with everybody in here and not realize they had a channel. So that's my way of shouting out a whole bunch of channels tonight, because we don't know sometimes if people have channels until they send me a link and say, hey, will you check this video out? And I'm going, hey, I didn't even know you had a channel. So it's not that we don't like people, it's just that we just don't have time to watch very much. So.
Yeah. Okay.
LG Homestead says, I have a channel. So I see one. Not a Real Farm has a channel.
Yeah.
Is that Rues? R-U-E-S Mountain Homestead. The Cajun Homestead. At Home with Glinda. Mama Bear. Redwood Homestead.
JJV Homestead Study.
Yeah. Am I missing something?
Yeah, Crystal's Creations of Williamsburg.
Cul-de-sac.
See, guys,
Southern Blessed.
the Swafford Homestead.
Crystal's Creations of Williamsburg.
Mark Jones, Deborah. Oh, not Deborah. It's going by so fast. Real Home.
Sandra Jones.
Renee.
No, Sandra says she does not have a channel.
uh,
Okay, sorry.
Little Feet Farm Homestead.
Real Home Renee. See, y'all see these people
Homesteading
here.
Pastor.
Jimmy
guys,
Homestead.
That's what we're talking about. Most people don't know. We don't know who has a channel and who doesn't have a channel.
Mid-Ohio Prepper. Forever Settled. Not a Real Farm. I said that a while ago, didn't I? I think I said her one time. Little Slice of Paradise. What is something I'd add a believer? Red Duchess Farms. Scottish Urban.
What do I think about the aquifers in the future? The question is asked. In the near future, the ocean will probably rise close to a foot in the near future.
Frugal Nurse. Peculiar Southern Grandma.
There's a ton of fresh water going into the ocean floor from underground sources that's going to mess with the salinity of the ocean. And I'll tell you that.
Homesteading Crazy. Sheila Fade. Oh, she says, I don't have a channel. Okay, some of y'all putting, I don't have a channel. Y'all messing with my head.
Okay. We're getting way past our time sitting here.
So, y'all check out these channels, and if you can come back and watch the video, and it'll have this live chat. You can click on the live chat, and you can run it back and find these channels and check them out. So, that's my, what do you call it, shout out for the night. Yeah. Lots and lots of shout outs.
Okay.
Airstream Carpenter. Huh.
There we go. Okay, guys, we're gonna pray tonight. Let everybody have a chance to get off here and get things started tonight. Father, we come to you tonight, Lord. We bow our heads before you. We go into our prayer closet, Lord. If we had our shamal here, we would our talit. We would put our talit over us if we had it right here with us, Lord. And we would go into our prayer closet, and Lord, we would approach the throne and ask for your mighty hand to be over us tonight, Father. There's been people here tonight who's had loved ones who's been sick with the COVID, and they've had strokes, and Father, there's all kinds of things been going on here tonight. People have cancers, Lord. I mean, there are mental illnesses, dementia, all kinds of things are starting to pop up, Lord, with people. And it's nothing more than the devil, and some of it, Lord, is just the fact that we're just getting older. I mean, I got physical problems. I mean, we're getting older, and things happen to us, and we have to understand that the older we get, the closer we are to going home. And going home is not a bad thing. We always hate to lose someone, Father. And there's been people here who's lost loved ones this week, and we pray for them also, too, that they can find, Lord, they can find peace and happiness and a place to fill that void spot back in their life now. And for those who have the horrible diseases going around now, Lord, whichever variant of it that they have, I pray for healing for their bodies, Father, and that they don't have to deal with it any longer. And Father, I pray for all the truckers out there who's trying to stand up and trying to do what's right. Lord, it's time people stand up. Now, is it going to do any good? I don't know. But I know this. you got to honor a person that stands up for what's right. And Father, and I'm praying for them tonight that they'll be able to win the battle that they're up against. I know that I heard tonight that Trudeau went into hiding because he's afraid for his life, Lord. I don't think anybody's actually threatening the man. I think he's just scared because he sees that the people are rising up against him because he made bad decisions. And Father, that's rightly so. And tonight, I pray for all the people in our country. Food's fixing to become scarce in this country. Fuel is probably going to be really expensive and get to be scarce in the near future. I pray for the growing season for people for this year. The things that I found out that's coming down the pipeline as far as our weather, it doesn't look good for this summer. And I'm praying that you will just work with your people, Father, and help them to be able to grow the vegetables that they need to be able to grow and the fruits and stuff to be able to have and to preserve enough for the family to live on for another year, Lord. And Father, if not, help us to stock up any way that we can and prepare any way that we can now. So go with us tonight. Watch over us. Guide, direct us. I pray for the blessings of obedience on every person in the chat tonight, Lord. I pray for financial resources for everybody tonight so that they can afford to be able to get the stuff that they need, to be able to stock up and supply and be prepared. I pray for money from unknown sources to be dumped into their hands and not be spent foolishly on junk, but to be spent on good things to help stock the family up and prepare for the unseen day that lies ahead. Father, forgive us where we failed you in the kingdom of heaven. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
And two, we want to leave you guys with grow what you can this year.
Yep.
It might be a difficult year for some people, and some people may have a better year. You never know where you live if it's going to be a good year or a bad year. And so grow what you can grow.
Yeah.
And stock up now. If you can, put you something aside, have something to get your family through the next few months. It doesn't hurt to spend $50 to $100 and get some canned stuff or something that's shelf stable. I mean, what's them things called that we don't really, I don't buy them, but I buy them for my son. He likes them.
Ramen noodles.
Them ramen noodles. You can get a whole pack of them things and they last you forever because they ain't nothing to them. If nothing else, go buy you a $3 pack of them things, and there's probably a dozen or more. And every week buy you some and stick them up. At least you have something in your cabinet. Anybody can spend $3 to $5 in a week and stick something up. Now, I wouldn't want to eat them, but when you're hungry, anything's possible.
Yeah.
So it is possible to stick some stuff up.
Yeah.
Believe me. So do it now, please.
Guys, if you don't ever do anything that I tell you to do, stock up now. I mean, please, stock up now. Don't wait. Go out tomorrow and buy whatever you can buy and quit holding money. It's not going to do you any good.
What does the Bible say?
If you can't survive.
You can't eat it.
And Daniel, they talk about they throw the silver and the gold into the streets and they curse it because it won't fill their bellies. So, please, if you knew what I knew, you would do this.
And if something doesn't happen this year, you just have food.
Well, I'm not
Just
even going to go. I'm not even going to go there. There's not an if in this one.
No, I don't think so either. So, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for the super chats and the well wishes. Thank you for praying for all the other people. And
yeah, we covet your prayers. We really do. I mean, we like for people to pray for us just like we pray for other people. I mean, we covet your prayers.
Yeah, JV says, when is the best time to start preparing? 10 years ago. When's the second best? Today.
Today.
Yes.
That's that. Yeah.
Chef Boyardee is cheap. Anything that you can find in a can that will sit on a shelf for a while, you know, I would be doing something.
I will tell you this. Let me tell you this before we get off of here. When God gave me Matthew chapter 24 and chapter 25, I laid awake for a long time asking God, Lord, why did you give this to me? I already knew what this said. Why? And he said, read it word for word. Punctuation to punctuation. Dissect every word and you'll have your answer. And guys, that's what I did. And when I got through, I understood why he gave it to me.
And
sometimes
he'll do
and I might do a video on it, but sometimes it's like Solomon says in the Bible, with much wisdom comes much sorrow. Sometimes you can know too much, and it brings you a lot of sorrow to your life. Just like Jeremiah tried to get the people of Israel to follow God's word, and the people, Jeremiah, what is it? Jeremiah 6:16. He told the people to go back and to follow the old ways, which were the good ways, but Israel would not do it. And Israel went into captivity, the Babylonian captivity, and Jeremiah lamented. He cried and begged the people until the Lord told him, said, enough is enough. I'm sending them into captivity. And that's why Jeremiah wrote Lamentations. He lamented. He loved the people of Israel, and he cried and he lamented over them. And guys, that's where I'm at right now. I have spent many a sleepless night concerned about the people of America and the people of the world. And the Lord told me, he said, Danny, in this reading of this passage, the answer's in this passage that I just gave you. And when you find it, your soul will be at rest. And guys, I am at rest and I'm at peace with what's fixing to happen. And it doesn't please me, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's going to happen. So maybe I'll do a video on it.
Okay, so Bernie is asking how old is too old when it comes to cans of food. I would rotate out every 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
To me, I would rotate out every year. Like whatever you buy now, put it the back. And as you buy next year, pull it forward, put something behind it. And keep rotating and use some of your stuff. Don't just go buying stuff, put it on a shelf and ignore it. That's the worst way to prep I've ever seen in my life, is to just buy stuff and stash it. You start pulling things to the front and start using the front stuff. That way you're buying stuff you eat on a regular basis and you're using it. That's the way we do our canned goods stuff. What we can, I pull to the front and we use the oldest stuff and the new stuff goes up. So just my thoughts on it.
Okay. All right, guys. We've got to get off of here.
They want you to do a podcast and a video.
On that?
Some said put it on your podcast. Some says do a video.
Well, we'll see about it. We'll see about it.
I could make it happen if you'll do it both ways.
We could. We could actually do
Porch
it.
Time might be a podcast.
It could be, yes.
And then I could throw it up. We'll see.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Okay. I guess that's about it, huh?
Yeah, somebody's asking, don't buy what you don't eat. Yes.
Yeah.
And what are 3 important food items to have?
Oh, water.
Well,
you gotta have water.
If you buy freeze-dried foods, you better buy water.
You better buy water if you buy freeze-dried food.
Do not expect that faucet to turn on.
Yep.
That's a biggie for the prepping community. They buy up all this freeze-dried stuff. They have no water in case their faucet don't turn on.
Exactly.
All right, so we'll talk to you guys later. Y'all have a good night. And thank you, moderators.
Thank you, moderators, so much. And guys, I'll see y'all in the next